Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and another episode on my wife's new Audi A3. So in today's episode we're going to get the front end completely done back up, with the exception of finishing off some bits on the bonnet. I have managed to source a front bumper, and when I looked at the listing, I'll try and put a copy of the listing up if I can find it. I wasn't too sure as to what colour the bumper was. It looked like a kind of blacky dark grey, so I just took a punt on it, but it was actually £170 including delivery, which is probably the cheapest one I've found so far. It is a sport bumper, but the best thing about it is when it got delivered it was in the right colour, so it is a perfect colour match to the car. So I'm going to get a little stand set up now. We'll get the old bumper stripped down, transfer all the bits across, and then we'll see how we go from there. The only thing on the new bumper is it doesn't have the parking sensor holes, but there is a way around that, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So I hope you enjoy the video, and thanks again for watching. If you do enjoy it, please remember to hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, and let's crack on with this build. So if you haven't been following the story so far, this is where we bought a car from Copart for my wife. It cost us around about £4,500 including the fees. In the first few episodes we basically stripped down the front end, got a list of all the parts that we needed, and then proceed to rebuild all the damaged areas. So installing a new slam panel, replacing the headlights, getting those tested, and then building the whole front end back up ready for this episode today, where we're going to be tackling the front bumper. Okay, so this is the new bumper. I haven't actually got around to transferring the bits over just yet. What I have done though is I've put our new grille in just to give it support, because obviously there'll be this big gap and it'll be drooping everywhere. As you can see, the new one does have some marks on it, but I think some of these, maybe with the exception of that, will polish out. But it is perfect colour match. The only damage that was on it that I saw from the photos was this down here, but am I really that fussed? I can probably just kind of go over that with a light dusting of paint just to kind of improve it. But I mean, because it's so low down, you're not going to see it very easily. So what we're going to do now is going to transfer over all the bits from the old bumper onto the new one. So obviously here we've got parking sensors, and there's like a bracket, so we need to heat this up and take this off. And then on the new one, if I flip this over, where the parking sensors go, probably easier to show you on this one. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll come around the other way so I'm not in the shadow. You've got these, and that is basically, I don't know if you see that there, there's the circle with a cross, so that's exactly where we have to drill. All the other parts for the other modules, the crash sensors and that lot, that's already on here anyway. So yeah, so what I'm now going to do, transfer over these grills to give them as much stability as possible to the bumper, and then we will find out the size of the hole that we need to cut. We'll mask it all up, drill the holes, and then what we need to do is heat that plate up, that bracket, and then we put the new one, put that bracket straight onto the new bumper here. What you can do is you can get like a soldering iron and heat it up. I might try some Tiger Seal or something just to make it a little bit more secure, but yeah, we'll go from there. So yeah, let's crack on and get this swapped over. Right, so that's the bumper built back up. All the brackets are attached. Now I need to take a measurement of how big a hole saw this needs to be and get those cut out. And so the old one all stripped down. Getting these vents out was a right pain because these clips were like solid. So what I did is actually snapped either side of them so I can bend them out. I mean, this is going to go in the bin anyway, so we didn't need it. But I think that looks all right. I was a bit unsure about the parking sensor fitment, but I've double checked and that's right. Let's have a look. I need to find a metal bracket that goes on here, because on our old bumper this section is snapped off, but I've not thrown anything away, so it should be in the car somewhere. I think that looks pretty good. Right, I've just done some test drilling on the old bumper, and every time you drill through from the outside, sorry, from the inside to the outside, it kind of splays the plastic out and the paint. So I've just done a test drilling from the outside, the painted side, and it came out a lot better. So what I'm going to do, I can actually see where the thing is, I'm going to drill a pilot hole from the inside and then drill back from the outside so that I get a nice clean finish, and then I'll just put a little bit of touch-up paint around the edge before I fit the sensor, just to seal that. So, no pressure. One, just. Okay, no pressure. Just drilling into a bumper that you spent 3 weeks trying to find. Wow, I think that came out really well. Let's just check it lines up. Yeah, spot on the back. Let's just angle this up and show you. There we go. Perfect. So we'll glue the other bracket onto that. I'll drill the other one now and get that done. Okay, so that's the new bumper all built up. It was pretty much the same, just the reverse of taking it all apart. I couldn't find any tiger seals, so I went with the approach of using the soldering iron. So you hold that against it and then you just kind of go through where these little holes are, push them through, and it melts the 2 bits of plastic, and that's now solid on that side, and it's also solid on that side. So everything's run back through. The only thing I've realised is there's another bit I need to order. So here, if you notice, there's some screw holes. I've just put some screws in there so I don't lose them. I went through all of like the pile of broken bits, and there's actually another support bracket that sits behind here, because when I put these two little wing, well, they're like wing supports, I think they call them, when I clip those two in, I realise there's another clip here that has to go onto something. So I've looked online, it's £45 for that piece of plastic, but that's off eBay from Lithuania, I think, so it's £15 postage. So I've tried ringing the parts department, but they're closed. I've got the part number and I'll get that ordered, but it's not going to stop us getting this fitted up today, because this is going to have to come off again when I paint the wing. But yeah, so let's get this onto the car, and then I'm going to plug in our diagnostics tools, run a scan and try and clear as many of the codes as I possibly can before we start work on the airbag kit. Okay, so that's the bumper fitted. Colour match is pretty much perfect, well, apart from the side with our new wing. That's looking really good. The alignment looks good on the headlights. I've managed to tweak this wing here. I say I've put a bit of touch-up paint up there just to kind of cover that. I think I've got this bracket where it needs to be now. I've done the rivets, so we've got one here, one here, one here. That's all done, that's tightened up. The bonnet, when you close it, that side and that side, so they latches now, and this panel gap is much better, but I think I'm getting to the conclusion that this is so distorted and out of shape that I'm going to have to get a new bonnet, which is a shame because it's quite a big panel to paint and I don't think I'm quite cut up for doing that at home. But we'll have to go with that, unfortunately. It's just too distorted to be able to reuse. So I'll get on the hunt, try and get one in colour if we can. But yeah, bumper looks good. So let's get the battery reconnected, do a code scan and see if we can clear some codes. What I've done, just because this hasn't run in a week or so and the battery was getting a bit low, I've just hooked up our jump starter. If any of you haven't seen my review video on this, Top Dom very kindly sent this out for us to do a review on. An absolute brilliant bit of kit. Actually told us that this battery is not that great, so we may need to replace this if it doesn't take a full charge when I put it on a trickle charge overnight. But enough of that said, let's get inside and get this diagnostic done. Okay, so we've got our diagnostic plugged in and we are using VCDS to do this because according to one of the guys that I know who also fixes cars, he says we should be able to clear the airbag crash data from VCDS. So I'll do a screen record on this at the same time. Let's get this ignition on. Okay, now on the dash we have EPC, I think that's related to the crash data, and we have an engine warning light, and obviously we have the airbag lights. Now I haven't replaced any airbags yet. I just want to see if I can clear the crash data, and obviously brake pads need doing, but I want to see if I can clear the crash data first before I start replacing all the airbag kit. So let's have a crack at this and see how we get on. So we want to do an auto scan, get that going first. And what this will do is it will just go through all the different modules, find out what's actually installed on the car, and then give us a list at the end as to what one's got faults, and we can kind of go through that and have a look. Oh, we don't want any radio in it. And so as it goes through, it will just run various different systems. So there, the radio got switched on. Okay. So I think some of these malfunctions it comes back with are going to be related to power because the battery's been disconnected at some point through the rebuild of the front end. So we'll let this scan through and then we'll have a review of what we've got. Okay, so I had a couple of issues with my Rostec cable. Apparently it's saying it's out of date. I need to do a trade-in and upgrade it, so that's probably going to cost me money I didn't plan on spending. But what I've done is I've actually downgraded the version of VCDS to an older one, which I have used with this cable before, to see if we can now clear all the error codes. Are you sure you want to erase DTCs? Yeah. Just want to see if I can clear some of them out to get an idea as to what is left to work with. Yeah, unsupported vehicle. Please upgrade to a current Rostec interface. Oh, that's frustrating. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my other diagnostic tool, my X tool, get that plugged in and just see what we can do with that, see if that will do anything. But this has been a bit of a lost cause. Okay, so hopefully, and finally we've got here with one of the tools. Power is really low on the battery, so I left it on charge for a while. And now I've done an update on this X tool and it's actually managed to communicate with it. So we've got 3 errors. So engine electronics first. Let's see if we can figure out what that is. Read the error codes. Engine starter performance. So that could be due to the fact there's low power. Control module input power low. So yeah, again, power related. Let's just go back. Let's have a look at brake electronics. It's probably about the low pad wear. Low voltage, steering angle sensor, no initialization. So again, that's when the power runs out, what you have to do is basically rotate the steering wheel all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and that just resets that. Hill descent control button and tire pressure monitoring signal. Okay. Let's go back. Yeah, so we've got that, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is rerun save the DTC report. Okay, so I've got a list of all the original codes. And now if I go back to exit the automatic scan and then rerun it, and clear all the errors. Let it run through and do that. Right, so exit the automatic scan. I'll turn the ignition off and then back on. So we'll turn it off. See if we can start it. There we go. Well, we've got the airbag light, but the engine warning light's gone. All the other ones are fine. So as it's a nice day and I've just washed my car, we've got that front bumper on. That says to me every panel's back on there. So let's give this a clean and see how it comes up. Well, what a difference that's made. It showed me a few little defects. There's a dent there. And there's also a bit of damage to the driver's door I didn't spot, which is just there. But overall, that looks so much better. So I'm going to get that wing sprayed next, work out what the plan is with the bonnet, and then that's the outside completely done. It has come up saying there's a brake warning, so I need to replace the front pads because they're a little bit low. But yeah, that's fantastic how it's come out. And I'll say the next step will be dashboard and all the airbag kit, and then it's all buttoned up and done. So I'm just in the process of doing the editing on this particular video, and I realised I didn't record an outro. I think that brought us to a good point, and with the length of it, I think that's a good time to stop. This weekend I have been working on the car again, and we've actually made really good progress on the interior. That will be a video that hopefully I will get out next week, pending no bits that are missing or anything like that. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Really appreciate if you've watched it all the way through to the end. If you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. It's entirely up to you. Leave a comment if you want to, share it on social medias, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks again for watching.